Shalom, shalom, family. Welcome.
Shalom. Welcome back to the channel. This news today is wild. It's just day after day, week after week with this new administration that is over the free world, as they like to call it. There are a lot of things going on, but before we get into that, what do y'all think of all these plane crashes?
It's a lot that's happening, man. Um, and yeah, I know we haven't been, you know, on here live. Can you crack this open? It's kind of hot. Yeah, get that wind blowing, get that air flowing. But yes, it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on, and it's like it's way deeper than what's happening right now. But you know, if you know, you know. If you don't know, we are here to tell you. So, stay tuned to the end. Hope you guys enjoy this content or this information and content that we're about to share with you. So make sure you like the video. Leave your comments in the description too, uh, and be involved with the conversation because, like, man, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about these plane crashes that's been happening day after day, pretty much? Uh,
Well, you need to talk about where they are so people have the right context. The
Go
first
ahead.
plane crash that happened was in near Washington D.C. And so I know most people heard about that. The plane flew into the Potomac River. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I may be butchering that word, but it was the middle of the night. A helicopter flew into the passenger plane, and it was a military helicopter. So they should have been able to, do some type of maneuver. Allegedly, they say there was a woman flying the helicopter, the military helicopter. And so I guess like the MAGA people, they're like, yeah, this is why we don't want DEI or whatever. So I don't know if I don't really know. I'm just reporting to you, okay? So she was flying the helicopter. She flies the helicopter into the passenger plane, killing everybody on the plane. At this rate, they've recovered about 67 bodies. Okay, I believe they've recovered everybody that was on the plane. They recovered all of the bodies out of the Potomac or Potomac, I don't know how to say it, that river that is near DC. Now, that location is near the Pentagon. The Pentagon is not far from that location. The White House is not far from that location. The Capitol is not far from that location where that happened. And so you can imagine the frenzy that that area must have been in when this military helicopter directly flew into this passenger jet seconds before it was about to land.
Yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me because if you do the research on a helicopter, it's very technical. Um, it's the technology behind it is very advanced. So literally, that helicopter can fly by itself, and just say for example, like a Tesla car in a way. If they see a traffic jam, they'll swerve and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
will avoid the collision. So basically, this helicopter can do the same thing, but it did not. So you always gotta ask the question like, man, what's really going on? I know all this stuff is in our face and stuff. What is really happening? Because that's a military
Weird.
helicopter. Like that's very advanced. And if you know helicopters, I'm pretty sure if you watch some movies and stuff, you see some missiles flying at helicopters and stuff. They can pull up real quick and like jerk this way, jerk that way, and you like, oh man, helicopters can really move. But in this case, that wasn't the case. So yeah,
Yeah, allegedly
shalom,
they're
shalom, Ricky.
reporting that on the trajectory, the helicopter called in and they called in to say, no, there was the air traffic control called to the helicopter and said, hey, do you see that plane that's on the route? And they said yes, but they thought it was a different plane, allegedly. Who knows if this is like a cover up or something, because it still don't make sense. But this is the storyline that they're putting out there, that they actually the air traffic control called, said, hey, do you see this plane? Yes, we see it, we're good. But then seconds later it wasn't good. They were distracted and thought it was a different plane. that was on the route as well. And so they say that that part of the area is one of the busiest locations on in the nation. Okay, like if you're flying out of Miami, it's much more simple. If you're flying out of New York, it's more simple. But in this area, they have so much traffic coming in, and they're saying that due to the corruption that happens in that area, a lot of these big, rich millionaires, billionaires, or whoever politicians want to continue to send air traffic in that area, not really caring about the safety of everyone that is in the area. And so I don't know. That could be true. I think that probably is true. I think it's a mix of things that are going on. But we do know for sure that the Western media will manipulate that to make you think in a certain way, no matter what the actual scenario is. I'm sure there actually is corruption. They just arrested a brother who released some footage of what happened
It was two
during.
people. Yeah,
They just released a brother and somebody else who released footage of what was happening during the plane crash. And I'm like, dang, why they get arrested? He just telling them what happened. So
yeah. I guess he
it's weird.
leaked the footage to CNN and stuff, which is like, man, okay, don't you want to kind of see some footage to figure out what's going on? But
Not a
you
corrupt
know,
society.
yeah, you can't tell the truth over there. Like truth is non-existent. So if any type of truth is being told, they want to block it, and they want to control the narrative. So
Yeah.
you gotta realize that's what they're doing. They want to control the narrative. So with from 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 my standpoint, it's just fear that they're causing. It's fear that they want to put in people from flying, because it's a lot of things that is going to happen in these next couple months where they don't want people to leave. So you really got to think about, hey, man, what does this really mean? What are they really saying? What kind of code are what's the code that they're saying?
What's the
Because
underlying message?
it's like, this is how they're speaking now. They do stuff like this. They tell you the truth right in your face, but it's uh it's up to you.
Yeah, because obviously they can't really control. There's millions of people in America. It's hard to control that many people. People are getting passports in record numbers. They're not even issuing passports to people. I saw
Yeah.
another video. Some people can't even be issued a passport. They told them, no, for your specific name, we can't issue it. We don't know why. This is just the instructions from above, their manager, which
Mm.
is obviously somebody in the government, right? And so this is the time where we've been telling y'all month after month, year after year, get your passport, get your passport, get your passport, get your passport while you can. Now they're obviously not going to broadcast. Guess what? You can't get your passport. But suppose you go up to renew your passport or to get your first passport, and they're like, you know what, we're actually not giving them out specifically to you. And then you say, okay, well, why? And they're like,
Because
we
you got
don't
an A
know.
in your name.
They literally told the
That's
person, we
crazy.
don't know why. We usually we do, but this is a new instruction because they have to go through these systems. So the system can tag you by whoever is tagging you and just say, you know what, no, we're not going to renew this one. Sorry, you're out of luck.
Yeah,
Now
that's
you can't fly because you need a passport to fly.
yeah. So that, man, because we recently renewed our son's passport. What, a couple weeks ago?
Yep.
Yeah. It was a couple weeks ago, and it was fast. It was like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and it was
Yeah.
done. And as you guys know, we're here in Mauritius, so I'm not sure if they gotta, like, ship stuff back or wait for the passport or something like that. But
It was quick.
I feel like if you're out of America, you can renew your passport faster than um, inside of America.
Yeah, without paying extra fees.
Yeah.
Right. Like we did not pay no rush fee or anything like that. We paid the regular fee, got it back way quicker, about 4 times, 5 times quicker than what it would be in America.
Hmm.
And so we always say like the true leverage as an American is being outside of America, and it continues to hold true in a multitude of ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just reality. Now we need to talk about Trump and his issues with Africa. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this actually unravels. First, we started out, we had the mist, we had the fog, we had the HMPV in China. They was talking about maybe we locked down. Next, obviously, you had the inauguration, you had the migrant deportation. They just allowed the first few migrants from America to go to Guantanamo Bay in their concentration camps. They're saying that they also will send over Americans who are in jail. They will send them, they're going to go ahead and send them out the country. They said they're not even going to be at Guantanamo. We're going to ship them to somebody else's country, which is like insane. This is modern day slavery, what the new slave trade looks like, right? And if you know in our community that they try to put anything on you, brothers, y'all need, I would leave if I were y'all, but y'all already know, absolutely. They try to put any type of tag on you, like this brother who just got arrested for releasing the footage. Now he has a case. If it goes to full trial, now he has a case. Now what? That can potentially stop him from getting a passport, leaving. Then later they may decide, a year or two later, okay, we just passed this bill. Anybody that's in jail, whether you're American or not, don't matter if you were born here or not, don't matter how long your ancestors been here. If you are brown or black and you're in jail, we're going to deport you and send you out to go work in El Salvador or Dubai.
Man,
because he can do that. That's what people don't understand. They can do what they want because they control the systems in America.
Yeah,
you don't have the power you think you do.
Our power is in the Most High. Like, we really have to trust in the Most High. Our trust is the Most High. So time after time, I know it's a lot going on, but with the leader over there, he said he's going to do certain things and he's doing it. So you just got look. You got to look out for yourself and get out that system, because he's going to do what he said, and no matter how it looks,
Yeah.
no matter how you feel,
Yeah.
like, for real, that's just what it is. He's doing it, and
no matter if you thought you was an African Native American, you thought
yeah,
that
no
you
matter
was half
if
Puerto
you
Rican,
is an
whatever
American,
you thought,
if you are a
he don't care
proud
about
American, hey, it's getting down to that skin color.
Race, blatant racism, and it's so 100%. Like, just think back to the 50s. If anybody remembers school, anybody remember what their grandparents told them when they would be in these diners, they would be in certain places, they would have to hurry up and go inside because at night it wasn't safe, the KKK was out. This is the type of country that you're about to enter into the Western world.
Yeah, because the video
history repeats itself.
Man, it's so much to talk about. I'm trying to stay on track, but just think about the ICE situation, the ICE, whatever. I'm not sure what's it stand for.
I don't know either.
But yeah, the ICE situation. Imagine seeing that. They're literally going to schools. They're going to Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff, where the people hang out to try to get hired for the day to make their money and stuff. Chasing people. Like, there's units of these people that's really going after these migrants, and
the good old boys.
Yeah, even look, you gotta think, even if you are American but you kind of sound different, like you're not sounding like us, like the English that they teach us and stuff, they probably gonna check you anyway, like, oh, where's your papers at? Because you don't sound like you from here. And then that's just a whole nother situation. So you got to really realize what they're portraying. They're allowing you to see this for a reason, because pretty soon it might be the whole American people.
It will be. They start out this way, and this is why I say look back at history. This is also how Germany started out when they had Hitler. It was all fine and dandy for the Aryan, the supremacist white race, and there's like, yeah, just start out separating. Yeah, I think that's good to do that. That's great. That's fantastic. Next thing you know, these people out here dying in these concentration camps, getting starved and all this stuff. What? Because nobody's stopping it, and everybody's just looking around like, well, everything's great now. Representative Jasmine Crockett is speaking up, and y'all, I don't know if y'all saw that video, but that white woman, she said, "Meet me outside." I was like, this is so wild that they said that in the Senate. I don't know if y'all saw that video. It was hilarious. But she is speaking up, as Black women always do, saying, hello, Elon Musk is in control. This is a coup d'etat. Y'all just had a coup a few months ago with Kamala. Now you got a coup again.
Mm.
And so she's speaking up. Nobody can see the writing on the wall except a few people. She's speaking up saying, hello, Elon is the one calling the shots. Trump is a puppet. That man don't control nothing. That man old as heck. He don't even know what's going on. He don't even know what he's doing. He's a businessman. Businessman and political man, those are totally separate arenas. Just because you own a business, multiple businesses, don't mean you could run America. Obviously, we see the fruits of that. He's like the new age dictator, the neo-Nazi dictator. And it's just a month in. I think that's the most complex, scary thing. He's a month in. And so you can just imagine what's going to happen by May. You could just imagine. This is why I love data analysis. In data analysis, we have this thing where we can look at what's happening currently to project what's going to happen in the next few months. So you can apply that same principle. You can look what's happening currently to project what America and other countries are going to be like in the next few months. And he's breaking his ties with Canada, Mexico, and Denmark. He said, Denmark, we don't care that y'all want Greenland and it's been your country. We want it. Mexico, Canada, we're putting these tariffs. Yes, it increased the US dollar, but to what extent? Where you're crippling your allies and you're treating humans as if they're nothing. Everything's not about the almighty US dollar. Treat humanity right.
Look, for me, he's saying what he's doing, and if you don't believe him, you just gonna be stuck. Like, for real. That's just what it is. No matter how it looks, like, you really got to care for yourself. You really got to care for your family, the next generation, because even he said this, guys. He said this. You ready? You ready? You guys ready? He said he's gonna be the last U.S. president.
Why did he say that? What
He
does
said
that
it.
mean?
He said, I don't know what it means, but he said it. And look, that might can be, he's gonna be like and I'm not saying this in a bad way. He might can be like a Putin. Putin been in power for like 20, 30 years.
Oh, maybe.
So
he's 78 though.
It don't matter. He said it. How
What, they gonna make his clone?
Yeah, you never know what could happen. But he said that, and he's doing what he said. So when I say that, everything that's happening right now, you really got to look at the future. Just as my wife was just saying, when you look at what's currently happening, it can help you tell the future, or even, and that's perfect. Like when you're looking at technical analysis on the chart, when you look at the past, a little bit back, a little bit in the past, it can tell you what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
So it's literally like
keyword analysis. Perform some analysis in your life.
It's really happening. It's happening. It's happening. So for me, like he's saying what he's doing, or he's doing what he said, and that's just what it is. And you really got to care for yourself. You really got to care for your family, to the next generation, because it's happening. That's really the bottom line. And you got to realize, hey, like I can't do nothing. I really can't do nothing besides this. What we're doing, we're trying to, tell people, hey,
tell the masses,
get out. Like we've been saying for the past 5 years, set yourself up, because it takes time. When you get out of a country, you still got to get used to another country. Even us coming here to Mauritius, we had to get used to it for a couple months. It's not like it's just going to be the same thing from Tanzania.
No. Africa's very diverse.
Yeah, like you gotta get used to
different.
Certain things. You gotta make connections. You gotta get used to the land. You gotta see how stuff works. You gotta know when store closes at 12 p.m. and stuff. Like, it's like, wow, you gotta know these things. So it's better to get out before it's too late. Like,
exactly.
Really.
For sure. Yeah, return, and we always say this, return to the ancient path. This is what was written in the book of Jeremiah. The Most High was speaking to the prophet Jeremiah, and he's telling him, I told the Israelites to return to the ancient path, but they would not walk therein. What followed next was captivity. I'm going to say that again. Go look at the book of Jeremiah. The Most High told Jeremiah, yes, you're going to go prophesy against these people. Yes, you're young. Don't let that phase you. Set your face as a flame. Yes, these are my people, but you're going to have to be against them in this way because I'm against them. And he's saying to them, I would have been with them if they would have sought the ancient path. I would have blessed them. I would have increased them, but they would not walk therein. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when I think of the ancient path, my mind automatically goes to Africa because it's the most ancient land on earth. My mind doesn't go anywhere else. There's no way I could follow an ancient path in America, one of the newest nations on the planet.
Yeah.
Just made in 1776.
Exactly.
There's just no possible way, which is why we left in 2020. We knew that back in 2015 and started to pray and say, okay, Father, if we are to leave America and I'm hearing that our lineage is supposed to be increased in a land that we know nothing about in Africa, then you show us what to do. And he showed us step by step, start your business, learn finances, blessed us, increased us in every way, opened every door to the point where we have had children abroad. We have increased insanely, exceedingly above anything we could ask or comprehend. Blessings that we didn't even really ask for. That's where that verse in Ephesians 6, exceedingly beyond anything you can ask, understand, and comprehend. The exceeding blessing on the storehouse. And you can receive that too, but your heart posture, if your heart posture is to idolize Western society, then there's no way you're going to be able to find the ancient path because you have no interest in the ancient path. You have interest in the modern American path.
And what you said that, like, it's literally like your trust got to be the most high. Your trust got to be Yahuwah. Like, really, like everything that we've been blessed with, because we trusted him. We literally trusted him with everything that we've been doing, everything, like really, it's literally everything. So when you talk about the ancient path too, I wanted to put this in perspective also with people, just getting land in the States, right? Just say you do get land in the States, and you, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Just say you do get land outside in the country somewhere, that's another problem too. Like the neighbors around could cause a lot of things, but just say it is a prime location that you have land. Who knows who could come? When I say who can come, I mean like governments, people that might want to come to America to set up shop to make their next big move, and that's a prime location to hide from, certain government parties and stuff like that. So what I guess when we say seek the ancient path, you literally have to get outside of that Babylonian system to be able to truly seek the ancient path. Because America's still going to be America, but Africa and just really outside of America would teach you how to be sustainable, how to really be on that path of the ancient way. So when we say stuff like, man, it really hits home. Like you gotta return to the land. You gotta be outside of America to realize what we're talking about. And I'm pretty sure the people that is in the chat that's outside of America can really attest to this. Like it's really a matrix in a way in America. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, outside of America is just totally different.
Yeah, even Europe is different from America. From some of the networks that we have, people live life even differently in Eastern Europe and what's that area called? The Mediterranean part of Europe. Like this, America's the only country that operates like that. It truly is, okay?
And that's what they want. They just want that. They want to operate like the scriptures say, just don't be part of the world, because they just want to be the world. And we know the world is like, it's pretty much evil. Put it like that. It's demonic in a way where you have to know, like, man,
everything's
that's
fake,
America.
man.
Yeah.
The food's fake.
That's America.
You go everywhere, people just got fake faces on, fake hair, fake
It's a
everything. It's like,
circus,
man,
a big
it's
circus.
like, why does everything have to be fake when you go outside in America? It's just like fake, fake, fake. Work 40, 60 hours a week, die at 50, and then be happy and say, all right, well, I got the American dream. You only have one life to live on earth. Why would you waste it in a society like that? It wants to put you
Right.
in modern day wage slavery. You know, as humans, we were created to be outside, to enjoy nature, to worship the Most High, to take
Hmm.
care of our families. You pawn your children off to the school system 50 hours a week. You never even know them at that rate. You don't know your children. They pawned off to the school system for 50 hours. Then you grow up and you're like, man, I don't even know this person. Yeah, because they were pawned off to the school system for 18 years, 50 hours a week. And then when y'all see each other, you tired, they tired, so y'all don't even resonate with each other. Y'all can't even get along.
Yeah,
That's
it's
messed
deep.
up.
It's deep.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's screwed up. That's bad. And this is why you have an American society that operates the way that it does. When you come to Africa, they move off of unity. Okay? Even Asian countries as well. Because I have family
Community,
that
unity.
spend
Yeah.
years in Asia. And it's like a whole different way of life. Completely different, but they'll tell you in America, oh, don't go to Asia. They don't like y'all there. Don't do that. Oh, and don't go to the Caribbean, and definitely don't go to Africa. You better just stay here forever. Like,
That's the root.
absolutely not. I
That is the root.
refuse.
That
There's
is
an
the root.
entire life out there, an entire world out there to see and for you to learn and to become a real human, because America does not manufacture real humans. It manufactures fake, faux humanity. And
Yeah.
that's why they can't repopulate. And that's why marriage and divorce, that's why marriages are failing in record numbers in America and divorce is rising. That's why you have the rise of LGBT. That's why you have the P. Diddy's of the world in America. That's why you have the pastors that do the same things as P. Diddy's in America. It's a sick, disgusting, foul society. And
Mhm.
you just don't find that in these numbers in other countries on earth. You just don't.
Yeah. It's really just a society to do what you want, and we know, if you know what that means, just do what you want.
Now, let's talk about how Trump wants to choke out South Africa. This is, one of the new policies that's coming up. I'm telling y'all, it's every week, every day. Y'all already know he's going to come up with a new policy. After the tariffs on Canada, Mexico, the next policy is that he has told the South African leader, Ramaphosa, I'm sorry, my brother, if I'm butchering your name, please help me say that correctly. But President Ramaphosa, he told him, look, I'm not sending y'all no more aid. And you know why? Because Elon Musk, of course, he's from South Africa. Of course, he was benefiting and was a part of apartheid. His family was historically, obviously, a part of apartheid. If you're unfamiliar with what apartheid is, it's an extremely racist, white supremacist leadership group that colonized South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, and the southern region of Africa. Okay, this is the system that Nelson Mandela had to try and free his people from, and all of these things. And so the people have been trying to get their land back, trying to get their freedom back. But Trump said in the video, he was like, oh my gosh, horrible things are happening to people in South Africa. He's throwing words out like inhumane. I was like, nobody called it inhumane when y'all was killing all those Native Americans.
Yeah.
Nobody called it inhumane last week when you bombed Somalia.
Yeah.
Nobody called it inhumane when Apple was down there in the Congo making
Yeah.
children
All
work
these
in modern
nations.
day
Yeah.
slavery. But it's inhumane for African people to own their land.
Right. To take back their land. Put it like that, because it got to be done. It's the truth. Like, and that's like a big thing that people need to understand. What is truth and what is fake? What is a lie? And it's the truth that, hey, if you need to get these people out the land, you got to do something. Yeah.
South Africa leader calls Elon Musk over distortions after Trump attack. This is Al Jazeera. We like to look at global news. We don't necessarily look at CNN. So the U.S. president said he would suspend aid to South Africa over its land reform policy. The land reform policy sought to put land back in African hands. Okay. This article is dated yesterday. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa spoke to Elon Musk regarding misinformation about South Africa after US President Donald Trump said he would suspend aid to the country over its land reform. South Africa born billionaire Musk, who was close to Trump, waded into the dispute on Monday with a post on X accusing South Africa of having openly racist ownership laws suggesting white people were the victims. Pause. Let's do a history lesson and vocabulary lesson in racism. Racism and prejudice are two different things. Racism is the combined notion of power and prejudice systems. When you're thinking racism, you're thinking institutional systems, banking, land, owning stuff, okay? Mixed with violence and a hatred and a prejudice towards another person. On the flip side, prejudice is when somebody may be like, oh, this culture is different from me. They're a little prejudiced, like, oh, look at this person, they're different from me. But it does not hold the power and the ability to exemplify institutional racism the way that a white supremacist system is. Therefore, the only people on the face of the planet that can operate in racism are apartheid type, colonization type descendants of Europeans that colonized and wreaked havoc all over the world in Australia, Africa, America, South America, the Mediterranean, all over the world, Asia, sorry, can't forget India, my bad, Philippines. So that's the true definition of racism. And so it's just very interesting how he says that, it's racist to him. But you came down, your ancestors came and tried to take these people's land, start fights with them. You're not on your land, you're on their land just because you was born there. You're descendant of European.
Come on, that was a pass. That was a pass. That was a pass though. That was a pass. Why are we talking about that? That was a pass.
This is it. Look, that's their favorite line. It was the past and this is the future. Mm-hmm. Now what? So we can't look at the future unless we assess the past and get proper restitution. This is just common sense. And if it was happening in Europe, y'all already know how that would go down. If the roles was flipped in Europe, you already know. You already know how that would go down. So Trump on Sunday accused South Africa of confiscating land and badly treating certain classes of people. Ramaphosa responded by saying the government had not confiscated any property and the policy is aimed at ensuring equitable public access to land. But to them, this is like war language, equitable access to land. And their brain, let me tell you the visual that goes on in their head. Black African people are going to own land and have resources in their own country. Oh no, that's war. That's the visual that went down in their head. The president said in a statement that Ramaphosa and Musk spoke on Monday on issues of misinformation and distortions about South Africa. In the process, the president reiterated South Africa's constitutionally embedded values of the respect for the rule of law, justice, fairness, and equality, it said, giving no further details. So I guess Musk and Ramaphosa are talking, and it's just an interesting time to be alive. I don't know what to say. It's like, clearly they want to just put the rest, because obviously in record numbers, the European populations across the world are declining. And so they're feeling some pressure. They're like, we can't repopulate. Black people are actually living, they're repopulating, they're just living their best lives. They're owning property. Oh my gosh, this is such a detriment to my entire society, my entire mind view. And so, of course, they want to take what you have, my African people. But unfortunately, they are the minority of the earth. And so it's the type of situation where you really don't have to fight anyone. The Most High has already taken care of it by decimating a certain northern people's population to where they can't repopulate. You're going to look on the wicked a little longer and he's not even going to be there. It's just a little longer. Meanwhile, African people, we have no issue with repopulating.
None at all.
We have no issue. The blessing of the Most High is very clearly on his people and on the people that he wants to increase, because the two biggest populations of the earth are in Africa and India. So,
depopulation.
I mean, they trying. It's not working.
They trying, but it's just flipping on them.
Isn't that what the Most High
Because I
says?
think
I
it's
will
like,
turn their weapons against their own selves.
yeah,
You will fall into traps that you made for others. You will fall into that yourself.
exactly.
And it's gonna be no one to say help, no one to say.
Hmm.
The Africans, we gonna be in the village. We gonna be living wherever we want to live, and we gonna be living our best lives,
Hmm. I want to,
as well as the indigenous around the world, repopulate and living our best life.
yeah,
We gonna be good.
I wanted to say, I think it's like 2.1 children on average in a nation
That's
that
necessary to
that's necessary
repopulate.
to repopulate. So
To repopulate that current population,
exactly,
not
yeah,
grow it, to stay at that same
sustain it,
stagnant level. Okay,
yeah. And I think the number is like less than two,
it's like 1.9
1.7,
in
1.9 or
America.
something like that. Where it's like,
Yeah.
dang, so they not sustaining nothing. Like they're not sustaining anything on all levels, guys.
And I think it's going to be run by a lot of robots soon, because with them kicking the migrants out, the one thing they had when they had the migrants coming in was that they could get more bodies to be Americans, right?
Ooh,
But if
that's
you're
deep.
kicking all those people out, who's left?
Yeah,
And y'all
dang.
don't like the marriage institution. Y'all won't be divorced every 5 seconds in America.
Mhm.
Y'all got all this birth control. Y'all can't repopulate. Even the Black community can't repopulate the way that it used to in the ancient days. That's why our people have to come to Africa, and then you'll wake up and be like, oh wow, I'm healthier than ever, and I've been able to repopulate quicker than ever.
Yeah, but back to the robots. Just
And
think.
see the actual institution of marriage. And so the robots are going to be the new citizens. They're going to be with y'all working. They're going to be at Kroger. They're going to be
Yeah,
running stuff. They're going to
for
be your
cheap.
house manager.
For cheap. Like really, just think of somebody like a migrant or something will come to America and accept a job for $10 when they pay a regular person maybe $20. But now the robots, they can spend $2 an hour or something to try to fix them up and continue working 24/7. That's just that's what they doing.
It's like a sci-fi movie we're living, guys. It's like we're just on a perpetual sci-fi channel. Did y'all used to watch the sci-fi channel?
Man.
That's what we're living right now. The sci-fi channel on repeat every day. A new part of the sci-fi channel. Ricky says, I'm all about Africa doing their thing. However, the leaders have to walk a thin line. Look at Libya. The people was good. The leader bucked. They deleted him, and they have had lawlessness and selling. That's so true. That's the thing with Africa. It is a thin line for sure. That's why we always tell people you better go to the list of countries that's on the most peaceful, least corrupt list. If it's not on one of those two lists, I wouldn't even be there. I would, like, for real, because it is a super thin line. It's a very thin line.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna say that. Never mind.
But the good thing, the continent's so large and diverse that you can have your safe haven. It just depends on which region and country you're in. That's a good thing about it.
Yeah. The system is what it is until Hamashiach comes back. Like it is. You just gotta, find. You gotta occupy until he returns. So you gotta be somewhere where you don't be suffering. Like man, I know our people are tired of suffering, and we literally try to tell people like Africa, for us because we've been here, Africa. But now that we're starting to see outside of America, you're not going to be suffering.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a peace that comes with that. As soon as you first, you got to make your mind up and say, I'm not returning. You can't have that doubt in your mind, like, hey, I can always go back, this and that. No, you really got to wholeheartedly say, hey, I'm never going back. And that's where that peace will come in. That's where, that shalom will come in, like really.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And I think that was the interesting part, because as Americans, we had assumed, okay, everywhere's like America. And it was like, just know, like, there's people we know now that have moved to Europe, and they'll tell us and report back to us the cost of living, report how peaceful it is. how they don't do, 40, 50-hour work weeks. And it was like, so America really is. Then we have family that lives in Asia, family that's traveled in Asia. And so they tell us what life is like there. And it's like, wow,
Yeah,
America's the only
it's
place like
similar.
that. That's
Yeah,
crazy. Then we have people who live in Brazil, people who live in South America report back and tell us what it's like there, sending photos and stuff. And it's like,
man, like it's similar to what we experience here, and
it's
that's
like,
just what it is.
wow, America really is this little matrix. And it makes sense, they slaughtered all of the Native Americans and just made this faux society,
So
FAUX.
what do you say to this?
Do I consider Tanzania a safe place to migrate to? Yeah, it's on the list of the most peaceful and safe countries in Africa.
Yeah,
But
I would definitely
caveat,
say
it's
yeah.
not on the least corrupt list. It's
Yeah,
on
I
the
would say
most safe and peaceful list.
I would say any yes, get out, go, please, because yeah, any place outside of America right now will probably be the best place, the safe place to be.
Not any, but
Yeah,
certain
most
countries.
look, America is 4% of the population, the world population. So that's a big percentage outside of America. That's 96%. So that's that. When I say any, that's what I mean. That's a big percentage. That's a big
That's true.
thing. 96%. That's not going to be like America.
Yeah, that's true for sure. Yeah, and man, the value of your life is so increased when you come to Africa.
It's needed.
We've had reports of people who have had strokes, had high blood pressure, at the effects totally reversed just by what? Having organic food, fresh air, being in a society that does not want to constantly obliterate them all day. Y'all, I know y'all know those jobs, they'll have the microaggressions at work, and you would just feel the tension. You were not created to live in this tension environment day after day for decades on end. It's no wonder people are on high blood pressure meds that they can't get off of in America. Then they land in Tanzania, they land in South Africa, they land in Rwanda. They land outside of America and they're like, wow, I feel this immediate peace. And they're like, oh, I'm not going back to that. I definitely what? Because your health is your number one wealth. The vessel that the Most High gave you, He says, this is the temple. This is my temple. I don't want to dwell in the church. I don't want to dwell in a temple made with hands. I want to dwell in you. So you need to be mindful of the environment that you allow yourself to be in and live in and be around, because it's going to dictate the ability the Most High has to move in your spirit.
Hallelujah. Really?
Why did He tell the Israelites, you have to get out of Egypt? Yes, it was there for a time. Yes, they helped you for a time. Yes, I brought Joseph there. That's great. But now it's time to go. He said, you need to come out so you can worship me face to face. Now, in logical modern day times, people would say, well, they could just stayed in Egypt, right? It's okay. You could just stay in Egypt forever. They took care of us. They had the fancy leeks and onions and pyramid structures. It was beautiful, right? But He said, no, come into the wilderness. I need to speak to you out here in nature.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to speak to you while you are dependent on me and not a system.
Yeah.
I need to speak to you when you are no longer dependent on your old oppressor, because that was for a season.
Exactly. Like you can't, like you like what I
That's
just
what
heard.
Passover is all about.
You cannot be in Egypt and cry out to the Most High. He wants you separate from that. He wants you separated. He wants you set apart. Like we keep saying, like just be set apart. Like you got to be set apart. And if you don't know how to be set apart, the Most High, He's going to force you to be set apart. If He called you to be chosen, He's going to force you to be set apart from a lot of things. And once you start to realize, like, dang, this set apartness is like awesome. It's just the biggest blessing, because we start to realize, like, wow, this is needed. Like now we see how the Most High say you have to be set apart.
Ooh.
You have to be set apart, and that's just the truth. Like we have to realize what's the truth, and what's of the truth of the world. But what is really the truth?
Yeah, that's deep. And that's golden coming into this Passover season soon. Look, I'm starting the Passover season early. I don't care that it's February, okay?
What? We
I'm
gotta get
like,
some
I'm
lamb.
feeling it right now.
You saying
Like,
we gotta get
it
some
just
lamb?
feels, I get to me, I'm talking from the spiritual
Yeah.
standpoint, like
Hold on. No, not right now.
coming into this season and just being set apart, being like really walking out the way that the Most High spoke to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, walking out the way that the Most High spoke to the Israelites as they were coming out of Egypt, which, by the way, means bondage. I don't know any other place on the planet that you could see in modern day that represents bondage, but hey, I'll leave that at that. And just coming out, and he's saying, look, I want to take you here. I want you to be here alone with me. Let's speak to each other right here. You don't need Egypt. You got me. That's what the Most High says. You don't need America. You got me. I made the whole earth and the fullness thereof and all that fills it, the waterfalls, the lakes, even the places you don't know about. The places I made in my secrecy because he did it before the foundations of the world. And it was already written. And he's like, I could show you all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But bondage will have you scared because the synonym for bondage is fear. Fear and bondage go hand in hand. Fear and bondage are married. And so when they mix with you, y'all having babies. You, fear, and bondage. And y'all a whole family together.
Yeah,
don't allow that to be you. That's why the word says in the book of Revelations, the fearful and abominable will not enter the kingdom of heaven. When I read that for the first time, I didn't understand it years ago. I was like, the fearful and abominable. Because the fearful don't listen to the voice of Yah. The fearful listen to the voice of man and America and propaganda. Those are the three gods: man, America, and propaganda.
Yeah.
The people listen to.
Fear is not an option. And I know for us coming outside of America, like leaving to Africa, it's like, yeah, you cannot have no fear at all. Like really. No matter like how you gotta move is not fearful. Like, and
you don't have
that's
time
the key.
for fear at this rate.
No
You really
time at all.
don't.
Like really, because
You don't.
you can see what they say and stuff. You can see what they're doing, but that should not scare you. That should be like, man, it's hard. Like people will know when I say hallelujah, it's a good thing. I'm not trying to say it in a bad way of what's going on right now, but he's actually showing us if you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear and that wisdom to understand, like, man, okay, this like plane crashes, dang, they trying to put fear in people to fly.
So they won't leave.
So they won't leave. Like what else is happening? Talking about South Africa,
so they won't even think
attack.
about Southern
They
Africa.
talking about attack, and it's like, dang, when you hear attack, you like, dang, it's a war in South Africa. If you don't do your research, the people that don't do their research, they be like, dang, they said attack Africa. Yeah, and then somebody else that don't do research, they talking amongst each other, and it's just like,
meanwhile, them people living their best lives down there on fertile soil.
Like really,
doing
people are
business
living
throughout the Southern Africa
best
region.
Life. They're really living their best life.
They won't tell
In
y'all, but
Africa.
South Africa's a superpower. Let's just be real. South Africa produces so much. And we didn't know this in America, but being in the SADC region now is like South Africa produces so much for the continent of Africa. It's kind of like, wow, they're a superpower. That's why they were like the S in BRICS. They're a superpower. They produce so much food and they don't need US aid. And I think that's something the Most High is trying to show them also is like, yeah, you had that USA for a season, but you really don't need it. You're a superpower.
And we did the live with Burkina Faso.
About Burkina Faso.
Yeah. Thank you, my dictionary.
Thank you, my dictionary.
my language teacher. my other half. Thank you so much, baby. Yeah, but Burkina Faso, they're pretty much sustaining themselves. So that should give you a sign of like, look, they don't need no French. They don't need no America. Kenya, I know. Yeah, we did me and my brother Joseph, Ricky, here on in the chat. We did a live, and the Kenyan president was pretty much laughing at America, like, when is it going? When When are people gonna realize that we don't need them? And that's the truth. Africa, once Africa realized that they don't need aid,
They don't
the
need
table the
aid.
table will flip,
You don't need
it's clear
aid.
as day. It's
You're
clear as day.
good.
Look at Burkina Faso. They're
Mm.
literally doing it right now in front of our face.
You don't need
Dress
aid.
up as a look. Do it. Do what we got to do to sustain Africa.
You don't need aid. That's for sure. Looking at Africa, because America is a place that barely has any resources, let's remember, and the ground is dead, okay? You can barely farm. Then you come to a place like Africa where you got gold, diamonds, tanzanite,
Yeah, oil,
oil,
all
like,
of it.
woo, human capital. What? Man, you put a seed down in some of these countries in Africa, it sprouts up the next day.
Mhm.
For real. Like, it's wild. It's like, you're
Yeah.
almost like, is this paradise? Growing up in the West, it's like, y'all live in paradise. Y'all been living in paradise over it. No, and they took me from paradise. Oh, Yahuwah rebuke them. I'm so glad to be back in paradise.
And that's not our way of life. Like America, for our people, like melanated people, our life is really Africa. Like ancient way is really Africa. Just how
Everything started here.
they try to make Africa seem so bad, like just so disgusting. Like why would I want to go and not walk with shoes in a village? And do you know if you walk on the ground, that's really healing you with no shoes, that's healing you. But they make it seem like, oh, that's poor. No, that's healing. That's healing
That's
right there.
poor.
Like that's you are literally healing yourself. So
Man.
America really teaches us how to like really kill ourselves faster.
Right. And they call that's the best way of life. That's the
Yeah,
good life, huh? Kill
it's
yourself by
sad.
the time you hit 50.
Yeah, it's
Make
sad.
me rich as heck.
It's
And
sad.
you have the white picket fence to show for it. There you go. That's living life. That's what you was created for to me.
Mm-hmm.
They like, I'm your God. Forget who? The most who? They said, nope. Come work in my corporation 50 years. It's
Yep.
very sad. It's very
Oh,
unfortunate.
even this. I think it was uh
Burkina Faso.
no, it wasn't Burkina Faso. It was please correct me if I'm wrong with this. I saw a new electric car that they are selling in Africa. Yes, this electric car. The guy, I think it was Zimbabwe or Zambia. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I saw one in Burkina
They
Faso.
no, I know which one you're talking about. I'm talking about something. It's a different one where you can literally plug this car into your house and charge the things in your house. Like it would charge your house. Like man, I gotta pull that up because that was something different. Like it's literally not just an electric car. It's something like a generator in a way.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
See, you don't need America.
Yeah. He
Child.
said it
You don't
doesn't
need them
it doesn't
folks.
run off gas. It's some type of thing that he pulled from the end. Like man, I gotta find the video. Keep talking.
All of the inventors and wise people have always been of African descent. Let's just not forget that. And if it wasn't true, you wouldn't have had to come and steal all these people, our ancestors, and take them. If you were so good at farming, why don't you grow your own rice? You were so good at it, right? Hmm? If you were so good at technology, why you have all the Indians and Chinese coming over to do everything in America, huh? Somebody please describe to me. Let me know. Cause I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm like, these two things are conflicting. These two things can't both be true. Somebody's lying here. Africa has always been the origin land filled with the most smart, wise people that you could find on the planet. That's just reality. The strongest people, the wisest people that you could find.
Hey, keep talking. Gee, I don't, baby, not right now.
Oh, you're right. It is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe man innovates self-powering electric car.
Yeah, yeah.
Accuses U.S. oil car dealers of trying to kill him. See? Oh, this is right on code with what we're talking about.
That's what I was telling you. Like this is different.
Accuses the U.S. Wow, that brother, look, may he be blessed and protected by the Most High. Psalms 91 on that brother.
Okay, yeah, we about to share this, guys, because this is something that you got to see how he explains it. I was like, oh, That
Wow.
what that I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's like, man,
It's exciting.
yeah, that's like whoa.
That's nice.
That's like
Zimbabwe,
whoa.
okay. Great Zimbabwe, ancient kingdom.
So guys, like say I haven't I'm gonna try to skip through and to the part that I saw. I believe I saw it like on Instagram or something like that. But
And this
let
is
me
new.
see.
Wow.
This
And the
is like
U.S. oil dealers trying to kill him.
yeah, because
May their plans fail, and may
he
they fall into traps they
like
set for this brother.
he was trying to patent it, but they say you can't do that because that's too good, basically.
Patent it, brother. Do what you
But
need
he
to do.
said he couldn't, so he's doing it himself. So guys, let me know if you guys can hear this. I'm not gonna share this.
This stuff. Why didn't this hit CNN? Since they love
It's
Africa, they love
exactly
supporting Africa, right?
this stuff don't hit CNN.
Y'all love.
This is call from the sky.
Yeah, from the radio frequency.
This one, I did in Zimbabwe.
Yes, we have done it in Zimbabwe.
Can you explain?
Yeah. So the vehicle it is powered with what we call a microsonic energy device. That is the
Yes, after around the school.
yeah, the vehicle it uses what we call the microsonic energy device. The microsonic energy device it is the device that I personally invented in 2009, which harness radio frequencies, converted it into energy. As you know, radio frequencies they are measured
Really? Wow.
Radio frequencies that he converts.
in nano volts, meaning to say they are less than a volt. They are just like nothing. But we find a way of harnessing it through the creation of the 70% of the components in the microsonic energy, which I've tailor-made, which I've designed. So those are the components that enable the radio frequency to be transferred into pure useful energy, and this is the first time in the world. With that technology, it violates the laws of energy in thermodynamics and also the first law of energy as well.
So they wanted.
Yeah, I want to pause right there because he said he the laws of energy. So they create this periodic table and the laws of energy, and he basically went against that and figured out how to create energy from radio frequency to create the purest energy to run this car.
That's amazing. May that look be a blessing that takes off like wildfire. And see, this is what we mean when we say Africa doesn't need any colonizer. Africa's good. Africa has the wisest people. And I bet he didn't get in 100K of student loan debt to figure this out.
Yeah, and he said he did this in 2009. So
Wow.
I like our people are very dedicated if they really truly believe that this can like solve a problem. And these are the type of people that they hold back. They do not want the world to see. They
Yeah.
probably doing the same thing um, in their household, but not sharing it to the world. So you gotta know this stuff here. Like I'm glad that we came across this and we can share this with you guys. So I want to say maybe a couple more things.
Arrested for changing the physics.
Yeah, yes. Even when we tried to file a patent, they said we are violating the natural laws of physics. So it's not an industrial applicable. We decided to take the trade secret route after that. So with this car, you can also use it to power your house. It is a moving generator. When you drive from work back to your home, you can connect your power cable, then you can power your house. It gives you 15 kilowatts power to power your house. And the vehicle itself just got 160 kilowatts electric motor, which gives you a torque of about 320 to 380 newton meters of torque. That means it's fast. And we are talking of horsepower of around 215 horsepower. So when we compare this car with the same cars of this model, like the Toyota Urban Cruiser, you will see that this is efficient in everything. When you talk of load, our car it doesn't weigh much. It weighs 1,405 kgs only. When you talk of an urban cruiser, you're talking of about 1,800. So that means you can carry extra baggage in the vehicle. Top speed is 220 kilometers per hour. Yeah, which is fast. It has got 2 driving modes. We have got the sport mode, which will give you 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 2 seconds. That is very, very powerful. Then we've got what we call a normal driving mode. When you want to drive like in town, you can select that one so that it won't give you a lot of torque.
Chikumbuzo also talks about his journey to Silicon Valley in the United States of America, where he was poisoned together with his partner, who passed on for defying the laws of physics.
We were poisoned at that time. Dr. Teddy didn't make it. He died in January 2017. I survived by the grace of God. So I was always in Zimbabwe and United States of America until he heard about myself. Then he invited
the
president, yes. Then he invited me to come back and put my base in Zimbabwe. So right now I'm based in Zimbabwe. Best advantage, the driving range is unlimited. I charge you where I eat with my kids. Kungora driver for the next 20 years. And the motorcar is a true tower, upper market, the Samurai number plates. From 2015, we have been working hard, testing it, homologations, CBCA certifications, ISO certifications, FCC standards. Sagaya road with. Even when it comes to Zimbabwe, it went through VAT. Sagaya motorcar from Baba Road.
You are the inventor.
Yeah, I'm the one who invented the technology.
President Mnangagwa says he called him back home to do his work here in Zimbabwe and is happy to grace the occasion when the vehicles are launched.
Is there another vehicle in the world?
With this technology, no, this is the first vehicle.
That's fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, look, and this is just an example, guys, of like how great Africa can be. The people here in Africa. So just imagine if someone from America that could partner with them here in Africa to use their skill sets to move around, in Africa with him, like partner. So just think, you take your skill sets, your mindset, your experience from America and bring it here to Africa, and just the two sticks come together and make Africa great again.
Yeah.
Like,
for
really.
real, make ancient society great again. For real. And Burkina Faso also just came out with theirs, like they were saying the comments. And so Africa's on the ups and ups. Look, it's very clear. It's out in the open. Everybody's seeing the rise of Africa. Everybody knew it would happen. This is the origin land. This is where Eden was. This is where everything started. And so it's just logical for humans to say, okay, it's time to go home. Oh, we got to get back. Look, these societies out here not going to be alive much longer with this fake food. For me, that alone, fake food, that's a deal breaker for me. Once I understood
fake air,
that and the healthcare industry in the West, I was like, that's a deal breaker for me. That's all I needed. But then on top of that, you have all of the perverseness, the school system, the vaxes. It's like, it's no, I got a list of 101 different reasons I do not live in America. I'm telling you, I'll be looking at that list every day. Like, look at the Most High. Look at his arm of redemption, mighty to save. Because we're living our answered prayers that we had prayed. I mean, us coming to Africa was probably one of the most consistent topics of our prayers that we had ever had in our entire life. That was our main, we wanted to go back home. We want to return to Africa. And in our heart, because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So we had never been in this lifetime. We had never known anybody on the ground, but by faith, we knew the Most High had an increase for us in Africa. We knew we were going to become one with our African people. We knew we were going to come into paradise, a land of safety and beauty and prosperity, so our children could learn how to just be actual humans. So we could reintegrate ourselves with just being actual humans, a thing you don't get to do in the West.
To really understand, it takes a village to raise a child. And when you come back to Africa, you realize the community and the village is very, very important. So, just having, children and them being part of a community, it's just great to know and then great to see, and just being part of that community. It's like, man, it's beautiful.
Yeah, having like the African mamas, the African neighbors, it's like it's just different.
Even here in Mauritius, it's like
it's different.
It's an understanding. It's an understanding. Like, I'm not sure if you guys saw or if you're subscribed to our members channel, but recently, our one of the pipes on our water tank broke, and guess who I called? Our taxi driver, and he treats us like family.
Yeah. A stranger we didn't know. Like, we didn't know him ever in life before we landed here.
He introduced me to his brother, his sister-in-law. Every time she would come to pick us up or something to give us a ride, she would bring fruits from her fruit tree and stuff. It's just like, this is
the African way.
This is just a community. It's just an understanding. And just for example, with the water pipe breaking, he went out his way. He said, yeah, I had to fix something at my house, but I knew that you really needed this done, so I had to step away from what I was doing to really help you.
That's so kind.
He didn't leave till everything was good. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Thank you so much for giving me the tools and stuff, and I'll do it. He said, no, I'll do it. Watch out. Like, basically, it's just like, okay,
so
go ahead. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, Africa is the richest. Like, and I'm not talking about money wise. I'm talking about like heart wise, righteous wise, like humane wise,
humanity,
like,
just being like a really, human.
Yeah, it's rich in that way of
And
even if you want to talk about money, we just gave you an example of like,
it is not US dollar-wise resource. Money and resources are different.
Yeah.
Wealth is different. People think the word wealth is synonymous with USD.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a type, but real wealth is having your brain, having your peace, having resources, having the ability to be in a peaceful state to create. That's why we are creators made in the image of the ultimate creator. Mm-hmm. And so if you're not in a space of creation and being creative and being able to create, then of course you're poor. But Africa is not poor.
Mm-hmm.
Africa is in an abundant state. And it always will be. It's just reality. I mean, the Most High, he's never taken his hand off the first land that he made. And he never will. It's just something, no continent on the face of the earth has had to endure the things Africa has endured and still come out on top. That blows my mind. Like,
and it's coming soon.
He loves his people
faster than or sooner than later, I should say. Like, they cannot suppress the truth any longer. The truth is just going to outweigh the lies, outweigh the fakeness, and Africa is that truth. Like, it's just going to rise. Like, I'm telling you.
Yep.
So, got to be in a position, as we always say, you got to be in a position, learning new skills to benefit you for this near future.
Yeah, the future's already here. You gotta get in tune.
Yeah, because we literally are in the future. Like,
it's already here. Every policy, every day that they pass.
Yeah. It's morning time.
You gotta make a decision. Also know that it's never the perfect time. A lot of people in business and life and anything people do, you have two types of people in the world. You'll have people that will always wait for the right time. They will never get to the right time, and they will live their life regretting the risks and the steps that they never were brave enough to take. Then you have people that say right now is the right time. The Calebs and Joshuas of the world, right? That generation in the Bible where the old generation did not make it into the promise. And he was like, I'm only bringing people in under 20 because y'all complain too daggone much. But Caleb and Joshua said, we're well and able to take the land. Let's go. They said, we can do it. Yeah, there's giants in the land. So what? Let's go. The Most High is with us. He's blessed us. He's given us everything we need this day to inherit what he has given us and promised our ancestors. So let's go. That's the only notion and mindset to have. But there are those two types of mindsets. People will be like, I have to wait till I have 20,000. I have to wait till I have 50,000. I have to wait to be a multimillionaire before I feel safe enough to go to Africa.
Yeah.
I don't know then. I mean, entrepreneurs, people who get things done in life, they move before they have it because they're moving based off faith. Mm-hmm. Meaning, Abraham received the blessing and it was accounted to him for righteousness but he did not see the fullness of being in ancient Israel. Why? Because he was the forefather of ancient Israel. So he was just trusting that this land would be where the Most High would increase his
Yeah.
descendants. In his lifetime, he did not get to see King David.
And,
He didn't get to see King
yeah.
Solomon.
And this was happening when he was 90
But
years
he
old.
had faith and trusted
Yeah.
what the Most High said.
Think about that, y'all. 90 years old. You like, huh? This is really just put yourself in Abraham's shoes.
He didn't
90
get to
years
see them
old.
build the first temple, but he knew it was going to happen.
Mm.
He didn't care if he saw it in his lifetime because it wasn't all about him. It was about lineage and the promise of the Most High.
Exactly.
It was not about him. He was like, okay, if I don't see it in my lifetime, that's great, but I still believe you. Ricky says, what do y'all have for people to pick up a new skill? Feel free to check out our one-to-one sessions of Black Educators Amplified. Now we are taking applications until February 12th because we just went into the super busy season. We have one slot available.
What skill set? What new skill set? Like what does that involve?
The skill set is based on your work history. It's a custom accelerator and it's based on your work history. So you as an individual person, we go through a 20-question framework to basically interrogate you and see, okay, what are your skills? How can we align this to the online business era so you can build your education consulting business and sign online clients and live anywhere on earth like we do?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and also with this trading, understanding technical analysis, seeing how you can be in the right position to make money when the market is moving up or down. Like really, you have to. This is a new skill set that I've been teaching myself for the past, I'd say, 4 years, and slowly, really starting to see the gains with it. So if you are interested, please email us to learn this new skill set of technical analysis, and this could sustain you, overseas. It really can put some money in your pocket. So
yeah, it's a good skill. No, it definitely helps with us buying
like
stocks,
really,
buying gold,
Yeah.
investing in Apple, getting in the market, getting out the market. I'm more
For
of a
example,
fundamental, but you with that technical, that's like you need to be able to learn that.
just
You
for
need to know that for wealth management because it's good to make money, but you also need to be able to retain your wealth. Like if your money's just sitting and it's not making, your money needs to be working for you. But people
Exactly.
lose out a lot because they don't know that skill and they're like, oh, it doesn't work. And it's like with everything in life, you got to study, right?
You gotta study, you gotta know it, you gotta teach yourself, you gotta really do your research. But just for example, this skill is very important because we called it even before this weekend with the market's gonna go down. Like remember I was saying Thursday or Friday? Yeah, we went shopping Thursday, right? Yeah. So Thursday I was like, look, I think the market's good. It's going to go down. It's going to go down. And then over the weekend, it shot down like a big loss. I think it was like two billion in a day that got lost. So these are the things that will, allow you to tell the future in a way. If you look at the past, the present, and then it will allow you to tell the future. So we coming, guys. All praise to the Most High, guys. Make sure you check the links in the description. You can email us with any questions. Please like the video, share it, because that was clear evidence right there of how great Africans can be. Africa is going to be the leader of this new era of, I don't want to say the new world, because that can mean something else. But Africa is going to rise and be the head and not the tail. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. We greatly appreciate all the support that people show. And we will talk to you next live.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.